A 27,000-ton flat-top warship is roaring through the contested waters of the Western Pacific, carrying stealth fighter jets designed for deep offensive strikes. Yet on paper, official Tokyo documents still insist this massive vessel is merely a helicopter destroyer meant for basic anti-submarine defense. This is no longer a legal gray area because the mask has officially been ripped away. The Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force has finalized a historic tactical transition that effectively rewrites the naval balance of power in Asia. For more than a decade, Tokyo claimed that the Izumo class was built purely for peaceful protection to strictly comply with Article 9 of the country's pacifist constitution. However, naval architects have uncovered a different reality beneath the deck plating. The entire fleet was engineered from its very inception, with hidden technical codes designed to secretly wait for the arrival of United States-built F-35B Lightning II stealth fighters. The most telling piece of evidence is the rear elevator, which was strategically placed on the deck edge rather than the center line to bypass all traditional wingspan limitations. Japan did not suddenly decide to break its constitutional promises to face regional threats. Instead, their elite naval planners executed a brilliant 15-year master plan to conceal a fleet of true carriers in plain sight. Before we go on, do you think this massive naval upgrade is a necessary shield or a dangerous escalation? Share your thoughts in the comments and tell me where you are watching from. Remember to subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into global defense secrets. To understand the physical reality of this hidden plan, we must look at the massive engineering overhaul taking place inside the shipyards of Yokohama, which mirrors a shocking deception tactics first deployed 90 years ago. To find the true origin of this naval deception, we must travel back 90 years to a time when international treaties ruled the oceans. Following the London Naval Treaty of 1930, the Imperial Japanese Navy found its fleet severely restricted compared to Great Britain and the United States. Facing a strict cap on aircraft carrier tonnage, the Japanese Naval General Staff refused to accept permanent inferiority in the Pacific. They ordered their shipwrights to engineer a shadow fleet of warships that could bypass international law. This strategy gave birth to the Chitose class in 1934. On official registry papers sent to Western intelligence, Chitose and her sister ship Chiyoda were listed as humble seaplane tenders of 11,000 tons. They appeared to be slow, lightly armed support vessels designed merely to carry scout planes. However, beneath the upper decks, elite Japanese naval architects had hidden a brilliant technical cheat code. The propulsion systems and heavy boilers were intentionally offset toward the rear of the hull to leave space for a future flight deck. The internal hangar spaces were built with specific structural dimensions to accommodate combat fighters rather than standard float planes. Even the rear section of the ship featured a removable steel framework that could be dismantled within days to install aircraft elevators. For nearly a decade, British and American naval inspectors observed these vessels during routine patrols, completely unaware that they were looking at fully functional aircraft carriers hidden in plain sight. The Chitose class represented the ultimate manifestation of a patient naval doctrine, proving that Tokyo elite planners have always known how to bend international restrictions without technically breaking them. This exact engineering philosophy of building hidden capability into defensive blueprints is what connects the shipyards of Imperial Japan directly to the modern-day conversion of the Izumo class. The hidden trap within this engineering strategy finally sprung shut during the summer of 1942. The catastrophic defeat at the Battle of Midway destroyed 4 of Japan's elite fleet carriers in a single day, forcing the Naval General Staff to activate their emergency contingency plans. Chitose and Chiyoda were rushed into the shipyards to fulfill their hidden destiny, emerging within months as true light aircraft carriers with a flat flight deck of 180 meters. However, this rapid wartime conversion forced a devastating strategic compromise. Because these vessels were built on auxiliary hulls, they completely lacked the heavy armored plating and advanced damage control systems of purpose-built fleet carriers. They were fragile, thin-skinned warships carrying inexperienced, young pilots who were rushed through basic flight training. This critical vulnerability led directly to the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot in 1944, where American radar and superior Hellcat fighters systematically destroyed Japan Green Air groups. The ultimate tragedy occurred during the Battle of Leyte Gulf, when Chitose and Chiyoda were deployed as hollow bait to draw the American Third Fleet away from the main landing beaches. Chitose erupted in flames and sank after suffering multiple bomb and torpedo hits. Her sister ship, Chiyoda, was left dead in the water, completely unable to defend herself before 4 American cruisers closed the distance and finished her with a merciless barrage of heavy gunfire. Nearly 2,400 sailors perished aboard the 2 sister ships on that fateful day. This historical catastrophe serves as a grim warning about the inherent dangers of converted warships, proving that when a nation relies on a compromised naval design, the human cost is always paid in full on the open sea. This tragic history shares a chilling technical connection with the modern transformation of the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force. 90 years after the Chitose class, the upgraded vessels Izumo and Kaga are repeating the exact same design trade-offs under a new era of geopolitical tension. To make room for the massive fuel storage, heavy weapons elevators, and aviation maintenance facilities required by the F-35B stealth fighters, naval engineers had to significantly minimize the onboard defensive weapons of the Izumo class. Just like the fragile Chitose before them, these modern converted aircraft carriers possess zero heavy armor and are highly vulnerable to saturation missile attacks. They cannot operate as independent strike groups. Instead, they rely completely on an expensive escort fleet of advanced Aegis destroyers for survival, functioning primarily as mobile air defense pickets within the American doctrine of distributed maritime operations. By integrating these flat tops into the Allied infrastructure along the first island chain, Tokyo has successfully shifted from a defensive shield to an offensive sword, preparing for a potential conflict they believe is inevitable. The ultimate lesson of Japanese naval history is clear. When a nation masterfully redefines its laws by concealing offensive weapons inside defensive blueprints, it does not prevent a conflict. It merely accelerates a dangerous regional arms race. As these twin stealth carriers begin their official combat patrols through the highly contested waters of the Indo Pacific, the boundaries of regional deterrence are being rewritten. Do you believe that Japan can truly maintain its peaceful identity while deploying the most sophisticated stealth fighter carriers in Asia? Or is history doomed to repeat itself on the open ocean? Let us know what you think in the comments below.